What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. I will say the person we're about to talk about in today's story time, though, definitely was not having a good day when all this went down. This guy tried to do something in one of his classes to impress a girl he had a crush on and ended up messing up and had to shave his head instead, which probably did the exact opposite of impressing his crush, if you want me to be honest with you. Regardless, I figured it would be a good video, so yeah, let's get into it. Be sure to press the like button or no joke, no scam. You're gonna get cursed by a wizard, and let's go.
It's not good. Nice rack in her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's a million. Swear I'm a little drunk, but it's a hell of...
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think everybody's been in the place where, like, they really want to impress somebody, but they're not sure how. It's just part of growing up. Trust me, I've taken many an L sometimes trying to impress a girl. It's just part of life. If you're one of those people, there's nothing wrong with it. And that being said, this person sent in their story for me to talk about, meaning they're okay with being embarrassed, so that's what they're about to get. I guess this guy was in a class with this girl that he had a crush on, and she was one of those girls that was easily impressed by people doing like cool dares, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. Essentially, the more people were like, yo, watch this, and then did a backflip, the cooler she thought they were. Like, she was a very adventurous girl who liked people who like mountain biked and did extreme stuff. And there's nothing wrong with having a type, obviously. This guy admits in the DM that he was a little bit delusional for thinking it was ever gonna work because, you know, she likes guys that mountain bike and fight grizzly bears, and he's the type of guy that is really good at Fortnite, you know, back in the day, or like is good at whatever's popular now. I've just been playing a lot of Valorant. You guys have been seeing it in the gameplay. But regardless, this guy, for some reason, was like, no, we are simply meant to be, and I'm gonna find a way to impress her. And he noticed that a lot of the guys that she had talked to before, or been with before, were the type of kids that were always doing, like, crazy dares in the lunchroom and stuff, and just that type of crowd. So he decides that he's gonna do something crazy to impress her. The problem is he's just not a very crazy guy. Like, he doesn't have very good ideas. But unluckily for him, I guess, a situation ends up presenting itself pretty quickly that allows him to make an absolute moron out of himself. Sometimes the universe throws you something that's the opposite of good luck, you know what I mean? And that's basically what this guy has. So he walks into the class he has with this girl, and the teacher starts talking about they're going to be doing some crafts today, and basically they're going to get into groups. And when they get broken into groups, he gets put into a group with the girl, and he's like, yo, this is sick, this is perfect, this is literally what I've been dreaming of. And they start looking at the project, and basically they had to build something out of paper. I'm not really sure why, but for one reason or another, there happened to be a little bottle of Gorilla Glue on the desk, and so he made a joke about Gorilla Glue being strong enough to hold back a gorilla, and she laughed at it. And she started talking about, imagine how funny it would be if, like, somebody put it in their hair. Like, imagine how, like, funny it would be. And everybody else in the group started laughing too. And for some reason, the guy just decided to go, I could do it, that would be funny. And, like, he didn't even think out the words before they left his mouth, dude. He really just said it and was just like, oh my god, what just came out of my mouth? I absolutely schooled that kid, by the way. I'm sorry, that was pretty cute. I don't know how he choked that bad. Anyways, back to the story time. Anyways, after he says it, the girl doesn't say like, oh my gosh, no, that would be highly irresponsible. I don't want you to do that. Obviously, she's like, oh my gosh, would you really? Like, you're insane. Are you actually gonna do it? And for some reason, when he gets the chance to like back out, you know, and not do it, he doubles down. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And before he even knows what's happening, it's like his body's on autopilot. He opens his palm and he just coats it in super glue, just covering it over and over again in super glue like he has no regrets. And he just slaps his hand to his head. And almost instantly, he's like, oh my god, what am I doing? His thoughts are catching up with the body, or his body, and he's like, why did I just do that? Why did I just do that? And everyone in the group starts like laughing hysterically because obviously when somebody's dumb enough to slap their head with Gorilla Glue on their hair. Like, you're gonna laugh at it, and everyone's just, oh my god, no way, he actually did it, no way. And he just isn't moving his hand. Like, for those of you that have never worked with Gorilla Glue or whatever, you do have maybe a couple seconds to, like, not get stuck to anything. I just punched my mic on accident, I'm sorry. You've got a little bit right before it dries where you've got a little bit of pliability, like, to not get it stuck to your hair. But he's just sitting there watching these people laugh at him for being a moron, not realizing that by waiting for them to stop laughing, he's taking too long to get his hand off his head. So sure enough, he goes to pull his hand off his head, and he feels like the tightness of his hair coming off his scalp and also the tightness of his hand hurting. And he's like, oh my god, I'm an idiot. If I pull right now, all this hair is gonna come off. So he starts trying to play it cool, and he's like, honestly, it's not that bad. But since he's not the type of guy to ever be doing anything like this, it's really obvious to everybody that he's freaking out. So the girl he has a crush on and everyone in the group is like, oh my god, are you stuck? Like, dude, did you get your hand stuck? And he's like, no, I'm fine. And they start laughing at him because it's really obvious that his hand is now stuck on his head and he's gonna have to, like, rip all of his hair out. So they start laughing, and then everybody else start looking over, and that's when the entire class notices the situation. The teacher notices, and the teacher is, like, so shocked by this kid's stupidity. Instead of quietly coming over and assessing the situation, just out of shock, she goes, oh my god, did you glue your hand to your head? Because she's just so stupefied when she looks up to see this dude just vibing in the Ritz car with his hand on his noggin. So the teacher does, like, the teacher waddle. For any of you that have ever had a teacher that has to do it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Over to him and starts, like, inspecting the situation. But yep, idiot has super glued his hand to his head. Gorilla Glue, same thing. And he's sitting there, and just the look on his face is pure embarrassment. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having that much embarrassment in front of your crush. And the teacher's, like, pulling on his hand, and it's stuck, and it's hurting his hair. And if you've ever had your hair pulled a lot, like, your eyes start to water up. There's nothing you can do about it. You're not crying, you're not being a baby. It's just your natural reaction to your hair getting pulled. So his eyes start watering up, and his crush is looking at him and just assessing the situation. And she's like, oh, are you crying? And I don't think, or he says that she didn't say it to, like, you know, be mean or malicious, and, like, she was just reacting to the situation. But sure enough, she points out that there's tears in his eyes, and the entire class is like, oh, he's crying, and just starts laying into him, which, sadly, that's just the way high school is, bro. It's like a pack of piranhas. Anyone shows weakness, and all of a sudden, everyone's like, feast upon the demon beast, and just goes ham on him. So everyone's clowning him for, like, crying, and he's just realizing that, you know, all of this, hey, I'm gonna do something spontaneous and super sick to impress my crush, is 100% backfiring. Like, there is no way out of this that's gonna make him look good. How embarrassing. He's gonna be known as the kid who super glued his hand to his head. And the teacher at that point gives up. She's like, look, I'm gonna send you to the nurse's office, see if there's anything I can do, but I can't get your hand unstuck. So he shamefully has to get up and, like, start leaving the classroom with his hand glued to his head, which I cannot imagine the sheer embarrassment when he stands up and walks over to the door, and with the only hand he can use, opens the door. But before he can get up to leave, the last thing his crush says to him on the way out is, maybe you should just stick to gaming, which has to be just the most painful oomph of all time. Like I said, she was probably just trying to be funny, but, like, you're going out of your way to do something crazy to impress your crush, and on the way out, she's just like, yeah, you might just want to not try to do whatever you just did anymore. So on the way to the nurse, he's realizing that he just made an idiot of himself. He gets to the nurse, she starts looking at it, and she's like, yeah, there's nothing I can do, I'm gonna call your mom. And his mom gets the phone call. She's at work, and she basically tells him that, you know, there's nothing that they can do till later tonight, but he's an idiot, which, you know, he doesn't disagree with. Imagine being at work, dude. You're crunching numbers, trying to put food on the table for your son back home so that way he can eat. You get a call. He's like, hey, mom, there's a girl that I really wanted to impress, and in the process, I super glued my hand to your head. And tell me you wouldn't be like, why do I do this? All right, guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. On screen now is an Xbox Xbox gift card. I actually give away a gift card every upload here on this channel as a way to just say thank you to everyone that is subscribed with notifications on. For those of you that aren't, you might as well press the button and turn on notifications so you never miss another post. I give away free money every upload, and hey, you like the content enough to get this far into it, right? Real talk, if you are somebody that's already subscribed with notifications on, I just wanted to say thank you. You really are the type of people that make the channel go round, and I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, whoever got the gift card, enjoy it, and I will shut up and get back to the story time now. Enjoy. Anyways, he goes about the rest of his day with his hand glued to his head, or about as much as he can. Like, he has to just deal with the embarrassment of everyone asking him what happens, and then, like it or not, like, at that point, the rumor had gotten around, so somebody would start explaining what happened, and yeah, a whole lot of, dude, that's kind of stupid, why would you do that? Which, to be fair, when you super glue your hand to your head, is gonna happen. He somehow makes it through the day without being so embarrassed to spontaneously combust with his hand glued to his head. He gets home, his mom comes home, his dad comes home, and they're looking at it and they're like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, we probably could go somewhere and have them fix it and save your hair, but we don't have the money for that, and you can't walk around with your hand glued to your head. So if it doesn't come out in the shower and you washing it a ton and whatnot, then we're just gonna have to shave it. So he spent the next like 2 hours in the shower, basically just rinsing it over and over again, scrubbing it, but there were still chunks of his hair that were glued to his hand that he just couldn't get unstuck. So homie eventually had to succumb to his dad, who was bald, going and getting the electric razors, and he looked in the mirror one last time, and when he looked back up, he was a bald man. That's right, trying to impress his crush ended up with him being bald, which I will say, there's nothing wrong with being bald. My dad is balder than a cue ball, bro. But being bald in high school's gotta be rough, dog. Everybody's gonna think you're a middle-aged man. The one benefit is you might not get carded when you go to pick stuff up for the party, I guess. But my goodness, going in the next day, obviously, was also super embarrassing, because now, not only was he the kid who, super glued his hand to his head, but he was also the only bald kid in the entire school, and everyone knew that he was bald because he, you know, super glued his hand to his head. And for months and months, he had to deal with nickname after nickname and, like, you know, comment after comment. And he was a good sport about it. He's like, it wasn't bullying because, you know, I would have done the exact same thing to somebody that super glued their hand to their head, which is true. At least he was a good sport about it. A lot of people probably would have been like, I don't know why everyone's being mean to me. It's like, dude, they're not being mean. I just, come on, bro. You super glued your hand to your head. Him and his crush, it did kind of kill that dude. To be fair, I don't know how somebody could look at someone they just watched, like, cry with their hand glued to their head in that way. It would probably be pretty difficult, dude. She did end up asking him if he was okay in class and stuff, but that was about it. However, it wasn't the end of the world. Like, it wasn't like he was super depressed about it, because it kind of made him realize, even though he has a crazy crush on this girl, maybe they're just not right for each other if that's the type of stuff that she needs people to do to keep her entertained. You know, it's not a comment on her. Obviously, some people just have different lifestyles. Some people are into, like, the extreme sports stuff, and some people are made to play video games and watch YouTube videos, you know? And if you're one of the YouTube video game people, it's okay. Maybe just leave the extreme dares to people that are more aware of what they're doing so you don't end up bald. Realistically, though, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you guys taking just a quick second to scroll on down and press the like button. Honestly, you've got absolutely nothing to lose by pressing it, and it helps out the channel a lot. And while you're down there, you should leave a comment. If you don't know what to comment, just go ahead and comment down below the most embarrassing thing you ever did to, like, try to impress your crush. And whoever gets top comment, congratulations, you are king of embarrassment. If you guys want more content similar to this, I obviously have a bunch of other story times on the channel, or you can check out my podcast, the Skuffed Cast. Link will be in the description, along with the link to the intro song if you guys want to check it out. And the last link I got to plug down there is, of course, the link to the merch store. If you guys want to pick anything up, it does help support the channel, and it's pretty fire if you ask me. I am biased because, you know, it's mine, but hey, shut up. Other than that, if you guys have any crazy story times, you can submit them to my Instagram @Scrubby or my Twitter @Scrubby_69. You should be following both anyways, because trust me, the content is so next level that it will change your entire life, much like a bottle of Gorilla Glue in a classroom. Anyways, guys, that's everything I gotta plug and do, so thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time with another video. Peace. I can't end a video at 13 minutes, bro. It just feels weird.